Well, my dear students, thank you very much. I see. I just told you that I just recorded your lecture actually on teaching of literature. I mean, 30 minutes before, but unfortunately, the system, the software that is installed with me here on my computer couldn't save actually that lecture, and that was not saved. So I'm re-recording it. It's a very tiresome process. So I'm going to remember. I'm trying to collect some stuff for you people in order to tell you something about your this course, and I'm trying to relate actually all these articles with you people there. This is the Journal of Language and Linguistic Study, and a paper has been written from the Turkish context. So teaching, you can see and look at this. I mean, this is actually the title of the paper, which mostly answer the questions that we come across, during this course here. Teaching English through literature. You just look at that, and I have shared this on LMS. You can go and download from there this paper, all right? And I'll try to share it actually on WhatsApp as well. Just look at that and just get focused what this article talks about, because this will answer some of the questions that come to the mind, there. You have to look at this, right? This is the abstract, and abstract actually means the summary of the whole paper, and then the summary actually talks about the major and the main ideas that are discussed actually in the paper. So I'm telling you, this paper emphasizing the use of what? The use of the use of literature is a popular technique for teaching both basic language skills, all right, and language areas, all right, language areas like vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation, all right. This particular paper is going to be focused on these things. Use of literature, it is here, all right, is a popular technique for teaching both basic language skill. Basic language skill means reading, writing, listening, speaking. All right. In the last, in the last lecture, I'll reload. In fact, I talk about that through literature it can develops, because the Kanagaja actually, he is one of the linguists. He talks about that the pedagogy of language, it encourages, it tells upon this thing, that the student, they should not be taught mechanically and diffidently. Rather, they should be enabled to make use of any text given to them critically and creatively, because the text, it creates in you a kind of interactive thinking, interactive behavior in order to interact with the particular text there. So this particular paper, this will obviously is going to focus that how does literature, or the use of literature is a popular technique, help actually the basic language skill like reading, because it involves you in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And even in language areas, it also helps and developing vocabulary and grammar and pronunciation. So reasons for using literary texts, you have to just look at this. In foreign language classroom, which is the major actually portion of this this class, and the main criteria for selecting suitable literary texts in foreign language classes are stressed. So ways to make why literary texts in foreign language classrooms are to be taken, and why they are to be the main criteria for selecting suitable literary texts in foreign language classes, which are to be stressed, is because to make what? The reader familiar with the underlying reasoning and criteria for language teachers using and selecting texts. Moreover, literature and teaching of language skill and benefits of different genres of literature. What are these things? These things are being described in this paper, all right, This is because this is the abstract of this paper. For example, like poetry, like short fiction, drama, novel, to language teaching and some problems encountered by language teacher within the area of teaching English through literature. All right, and for example, like lack of preparation in the area of literature teaching in TESOL. Teaching is a second language. English is a second language, and teaching English is a foreign language program. Absence of clear-cut objectives. Sometimes we do not have clear-cut objectives defining the role of literature in ESL or EFL classroom. Language teachers not having the background and training in literature. Sometimes you see that, I mean, the language teachers, they're supposed to be teaching the literature, and they do not have the background actually in literature. So this might come is a problem which has been discussed here. And lack of pedagogically, I explained this thing in the last lecture, but unfortunately which was not actually uploaded there. Pedagogy means the science of teaching. Pedagogy means pedagogy relates to teaching, in fact, then how to teach actually to people and students. So, and here again, I mean, we do not have any we do not have a predefined actually pedagogically designed appropriate materials that can be used by language teacher and the classroom context which are taken into account. So now you can see here in this very abstract, we can say that it basically how does literature teaching is to be ensured in a language classroom, and what are actually how the different literary texts they help actually in foreign language classroom. All right, as English as a TESL or English as a EFL. And similarly, there are certain problems which have also been actually highlighted, that how do the language teacher face different problem while teaching literature in the language classroom, because most of the teacher, they do have the background in language, so they find it very hard indeed to teach literature. So I'll try now to experiment this to share with you people the short lectures, because if I spend too much time in speaking before the camera, it's a very hard task indeed. So if I record for a longer period of time, and if it doesn't properly it isn't properly saved by the system, then it really gives me embarrassment. So in this particular thing, I have expressed the abstract, and I have shared this an elements. Ask everybody just to read it yourself, because most of the question will be answered.